there is something particular about this crime and conviction. But also we saw there from talking to the young people how important footballers are as role models, and therefore there is something particular about this job. There's many people who are saying he shouldn't be allowed back as a professional footballer, but they don't have anything against him working again. They're not denying him the right to have a second chance to have a job, just a job which is high profile and has an influence on young people.
Well, there's nothing so sacred or so special about being a footballer. At the end of the day, it is a job, like being a television presenter. You can say it's in the public eye, but that doesn't mean the normal rules of fair play shouldn't apply.
But do you think there aren't some positions where young people look at somebody in that position and the way they act and what they do has an effect on how that young person might think about what is acceptable behaviour and what you can do afterwards?
Well, if the young person has, in a sense, the Chet Evans story is a cautionary tale. It's not a role model story, it's a warning story to not behave as he did behave. But the question is, does our society want to give people second chances, or do we say string them up again, send them back to jail, whatever it may be, block them from losing employment? And I think this is a good debate, but it's a debate which is really about what's kind of a society and how fair we want our society to be.
Lots of you getting in touch about this. Deborah says, I work in a school. If I'd been charged with raping my husband in his job, we wouldn't be allowed to return to our jobs. I think Ched Evans should get a job where he isn't a role model. Darren says, why should Ched Evans be allowed back into a privileged position where he could be seen as a role model for boys and girls? Jeff says, after you've served your prison sentence, can't people be allowed another chance with close supervision and clear guidelines to start? And Andy agrees with you, Jonathan. Aiken was right to point out, far from being a role model, Evans is a warning to others as well. Fascinating, really, to get everyone's opinions. It really is dividing opinions.
Yeah. Thank you very much
Thank
indeed
you
for joining us this morning.
And, of course, the initial reaction from doctors was that he was a non-viable fetus, and they asked me to go to theatre to have a termination.
Non-viable fetus.